stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leave him raised like Simba, or cracked like the Beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay-at-home Disney dad.
Popular opinion is that all Disney sequels are terrible. I disagree. A popular opinion is that Belle's Magical World is the worst sequel of all worst sequels. So I'm in. Hit play. Let's go. Let's do this. We open a book, like the real book, and we get a recap of what happened in the original Beauty and the Beast. So when does this take place? They kind of recap the first movie, so I guess much like Enchanted Christmas, this one happens during the first movie after Belle is captured, but before she falls in love with the Beast to end the movie. There's a dictionary character named Webster. I'll let that go. The animation is a little rough. Some of the characters kind of shimmer and shake when they're standing still. Belle and Beast go to supper, and I smile because every movie there's a failed dinner date, and he just keeps on asking her, even though there's always drama. And then this one makes me a liar, and everything seems to work out. While they eat, Belle is rattling on and on about a book she's read. It's Cinderella. Like the book she's describing is Cinderella, but she just keeps going on and on and on and on, and the Beast is getting annoyed, and like I'm getting annoyed. And when I reviewed Enchanted Christmas, I mentioned how the Belle character hasn't really aged well after we've seen the Frozen gals and Moana and Rapunzel. Belle doesn't seem as progressive as she did back in the 90s, and this is another prime example. They want Belle to not be the typical Disney female stereotype, and she's not. But then they just shoehorn her into a regular female stereotype as she prattles on and on and on and on, oblivious to the fact that no one else finds her story interesting. Beast predictably flips out. He opens a window because he's mad and uncomfortable. She calls him on and says it's cold and rude to make everyone else uncomfortable just to make yourself comfortable. He backhands the book and flips the table like it's Sunday night games night at the Anderson house. Supper is over. We get the iconically mocked shot of Beast sticking his head out the door and screaming, "I'll never apologize!" My son tells me that's been a hit on the internet for years. There's a chandelier character and she's hard of hearing. I guess that's funny. The books try to patch things up and trick Belle into thinking the Beast forgave her, so she forgives him. Everyone is forgiven under fake pretenses, and now she's reading to the Beast while he eats. He's noisy while he eats, and Belle can't read while he eats loudly, and they're at a standstill again. Okay, like, Belle, he's listening to you read the book. He doesn't care about this book. Despite being a prisoner and knowing the Beast could lose his temper and like kill you at any second, she still calls him on it. Like, well, what are you doing, girl? The jig is up. Belle realizes Beast didn't actually write the letter of apology that Belle received that caused her to apologize to the Beast, and we are in friends misunderstanding territory. Mrs. Potts scolds the books and says, "They're in hot water!" for forging the written apology. Okay, where's Forte and Fief? I want more sinister organ. The books and pens come clean and the Beast chases one around the castle to kill it. Wow, he really didn't want to apologize to Belle. The books have betrayed Beast, so they are banished from the castle. He chucks them out in the snow. So if they get far enough away from the castle, is the spell broken? How does this work? Can they go back to town as living books and reconnect with old acquaintances? I like to think the one would meet up with his old boss and be like, "Philip, how's it going? Webster here." Philip would be all, "Yeah, man, sorry I fired you from my store, forcing you to go work at that castle, but hey, why don't we turn the page?" My jokes can only be as clever as the source material. I tried, people. Okay, back to the movie. They actually tried to go to town, but then they got lost and ended back at the castle, where Belle takes them back inside. Suddenly, the Beast enters and apologizes to Belle, but now it's a countdown until he realizes she's harboring criminals and gets mad at her again, and she'll be unforgiven for like the second time in 10 minutes. Okay, another 10 minutes pass and everything's okay. We get a touching balcony moment between the two, and the next day we get a Belle song as she walks in the snow and feeds the birds. Okay, what, that was the end of the story? It just freezes and we see a page turn and now we're in the second story? Shouldn't there be more to that one? Did he find out she put the books back inside? I'm so confused. Okay. Just keep going. Story 2, there's a big misunderstanding. Lumiere is planning a romantic night with a feather duster, and he practices a few lines on Belle, and she says it sounds rehearsed and tells him to speak from the heart and talk to her, Belle, like she's Belle, the feather duster. So as Lumiere is pouring his heart out to Belle, pretending she's the feather duster, the real feather duster peeks into the doorway, and zut allures! She thinks Lumiere is actually saying these things to Belle for real. So the feather duster's heartbroken, and this goes on for a long time. Like, they drag this out for 10 minutes. There's a really weird scene where the feather duster is plotting revenge against Belle and has scissors. Then she calls Belle a vixen. Lumiere has freed the bathtub and takes the feather duster on a romantic sleigh ride in the tub. No, wait, that's the serving bowl, not the bathtub. Okay, now they're speeding out of control down a snowy hill, and I guess we've completely pivoted away from the jealous feather duster storyline. And now Lumiere and the feather duster are about to die in a sledding punch bowl accident. I can't believe I'm typing this. This is really happening. Wait, okay, like Belle is a human woman and Lumiere is a haunted candlestick from the belly of hell. So how would that even work? You know, I don't care. I guess a human girl dating a candelabra isn't forcing me to suspend disbelief any more than a candlestick and a feather duster getting freaky, so I'm just gonna move on. As they dangle from the ledge, and I swear every Disney character has to do this at some point, thanks Lion King, Lumiere pulls out his written letter to the feather duster but drops it, so he has to go off the cuff like Belle wanted him to. Belle pulls everyone up after this happens and everyone is safe, and Belle looks into the camera and says, "Some things are exactly as they seem." What? So she was hot for Lumiere? What just happened? Maybe the feather duster should have gone Joker with Belle and those scissors after all. Who's to say? What? That's how the story, that's how the second one ends now. I don't, okay. The third story starts with a song sung by Belle. No, wait, that song was a bridge between the second and third story, so when does that take place? Did we come out of a flashback? Did they start reading the book before the other two stories? I don't know, I don't remember. How long have I been watching this? My VCR time code is flickering zeros. I must have been abducted and aliens slapped together a bunch of random unconnected moments from this movie, inserted them back into my brain while I was on their ship for the last 2 days being examined. That's like actually the only explanation I have for what's happening right now. The third story is called Broken Wing. Hey, Beast wasn't even in the second story. Okay, there's Beast being grumpy here, and as usual, the saucers and silverware dance around, and Beast accuses Cogsworth of losing control of his staff. But you know what, buddy? Your on again, off again infatuation with Belle, I'd say if anyone was losing control of the... No, you know what? No, joke aborted. Never mind, let's move on. Belle finds a bird, and the wardrobe freaks out because the Beast hates animals and hates birds most of all. Beast stomps in and commands Belle to have lunch with him, again with the dinner dates. For being a prisoner, Belle is really flirty at times. The fugitive bird has a broken wing, they bandage up his wing, and Chip makes fun of his disability. Yeah, thanks Chip. Just wait until you're human again and your brain leaks out that hole in the side of your head, kid. Belle is late for supper with the Beast again. Belle is on the roof feeding her busted bird. Beast is not happy, she's late. He storms off and goes looking for her. For real, this has got to be like the 4th time she's been late for a meal with him. They just go back to this. Beast storms into her room and says she forgot. Oh, she says she forgot all about him. That's got to sting. She comes clean and says she found a bird. He tells her to dispose of it. Belle says she will not. He wants the bird out of the castle. The bird takes off. Beast follows. Beast trips over Cogsworth and falls down the stairs. Wait. Now, does the Beast have a broken arm? No, Beast wakes up and sees the bird and suddenly thinks it's beautiful. Guess he got knocked silly. I'm so confused. More confused than the last story? No more, no less. My confusion has been consistent. Okay, now he wants the bird in a cage. The bird will live in a cage and sing for him. He's Jerk Beast again. Why doesn't Belle just leave? She's outside all the time. In the Magical Christmas movie, she went all the way to the forest. Like, what's going on here? Leave, girl. The bird is in the cage and it won't sing for Beast. The Beast is screaming at it. When did the Beast start hitting birds? In the original movie, during the Something's There That Wasn't There Before song, don't a bunch of birds come and sit on him and he's fine with it? I don't care. Belle is standing outside in her long hooded cloak, and from behind she looks like the Grim Reaper. I'm praying for him to visit me at this point. Beast continues to yell at the bird. Bird says, "He will sing!" Or no, she says he'll sing if he's happy, but he's not happy because he's a prisoner. Beast says, "He will sing for my pleasure, even though he is my prisoner." And there's some dark implications going on here. They take off the bird's bandage and the bird sends him free, and now the Beast is back. I don't know. The bird doesn't leave because he trusts the Beast. They're just hitting us over the head with bird-Belle comparisons, and none of them are landing. They end up on the roof, and Cogsworth falls off the roof, and a bunch of other objects catch him, and Lumiere says, "Wow, how time flies." You know, at least that made sense. That joke had a setup, an execution, and a punchline. Now Beast and Belle are having supper, and the bird has taken a lover. And the story ends. And we don't ever go back to the present time. We don't come out of that flashback. It just ends.
to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has.